Oh, you said 25?
Yeah.
You want to do it with me, or you want to just watch me do it?
Do it.
Okay, sine of pi plus cosine of pi. What's sine of pi?
Oh, it's the graph. Zero.
0. Plus, what's cosine of pi?
-1.
Negative 1. So 0 plus negative 1 is?
-1.
Negative 1. We're done. You feel good? All right. Pi over 2 plus how until it repeats. Next time it'd be right there, wouldn't it? 2 pi. 2 pi. What do I put after the 2 pi? N. Where n is equal to?
So you just for that like first one where it's pi over 2, like that's you're just supposed to put the like wherever the
Put one place where it works. Any place where it works is fine. You could have started with 5 pi over 2. Right? Because that would be this one here. You find one place where it's true, and then plus how often it repeats times n.
Okay, so say it was like sine theta and like it equals 0, it would be like.
So you pick one place where it's true. 0, pi, or 2 pi, any of those would work. Plus, how long until it repeats?
Okay, so that would be pi plus 5.
Pi plus pi,
N.
and where n is equal to dot 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 negative 1, 0, 1, 2, dot dot dot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
solid. Yes. It's not weird if you wrote this. So like minus positive.
Or it was
Cosine of 2 pi is 1, right? Very good. Each of 2 pi.
oh yeah.
So you positive 1.
And well, I had it as -1.
Okay, all right.
And
If you like that format, I'm with you. That's actually the way, when you become president, you need to tell everybody in America that's how you're going to write things from there on out. You're going to make every single school you're I'm going to graph sine. Okay, so at 0, it would normally look like this when it gets to pi, and then 2 pi. So I know 0 is the same as negative 2 pi, which is the same as negative 4 pi. So I'm going to go whoop, and then I just finish up my graph by going backwards. Cassini okay?
Yeah.
All right. And negative 5 pi, that's the way to graph. So normally I go this way, right?
Yeah.
But I can keep going backwards, can't I? Now, I wouldn't do that. What I do is I see 0 is the same as negative 2 pi. Repeats every 2 pi, correct? Same as negative 4 pi, right?
Yeah.
So my graph starts here is the same as 4 pi starting here.
So we don't have to do the other stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. Now, if you're really confused, you can draw it backwards, right? You can go, okay, well, then I go like this, and I got my graph. That's cheating, but it's legit. I mean, it's what we're doing, right? It just, if I give you 117 pi, you're probably not going to want to draw it. Yeah. Probably not going to want to add 2 pi each time either, but you'll figure it out.
Rising.
Yes.
I have a question. So if it repeats every 2,
Yes, 2 pi.
starts at 0 at every 2 pi,
Uh-huh.
why be at 0 for negative 3 pi and negative 5?
Because the wave starts here normally, right? And then goes this way, up, and then back down. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Since that's the case, the normal graph starts at 0, goes through 0, and comes back to 0. In a normal cycle, right?
Yeah.
So the real key point is, where does it start? It starts at 0. I'm going to make that the same as negative pi, because I know it repeats every 2 pi. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And so it's going to be the same as here, By the way, 6 pi, same thing, right? You're going to have a whoop. So I just have to figure out where to start. But you're right, it does go through 0 at 7 pi and at 8 pi and at all these other ones. Every pi goes through 0. But if I want to draw it, I just need to know where it starts. Because it's important whether it goes up or down.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. I gotta figure out what I just did with my recording. No. All right. Super confused. No, it didn't work. Uh-oh. I broke the recorder. All right. Well, the recorder's not liking this. Okay, so 34, they're asking me to graph between 9 pi over 2, which is over here somewhere. Broken graph. 9 pi over 2. And where else do you want me to graph?
13 pi over 2.
13 pi over 2. 13 pi over 2. You don't really like those numbers because I'm looking for like 0 and 2 pi and 4 pi and 6 pi. So how can I change this up? What's halfway between the two?
Wait.
Halfway between 9 and 13?
Oh. 11?
11 pi over 2. What's halfway between 9 pi over 2 and 11 pi over 2?
12? Oh, wait.
9 and 11?
10 pi.
10 pi over 2, which is 5 pi, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's halfway between 11 pi over 2 and 13 pi over 2?
6 pi.
6 pi. Any chance any of those is like 0?
6 pi.
6 pi is. Now, which graph are we doing? We're doing sine. This is number 34. I should write that first. So sine starts where?
6 pi.
Where does it normally start? 0. Starts at 0 and goes up like this?
Yeah.
Then what do? Now you go backwards, right?
Yeah.
Whoop.
And then,
Whoop. Whoop. That's a little high.
Yeah.
Upside down horseshoe. That's not right either. Upside down flower. It's an upside down flower. It's right side up flower. Is that okay? Okay, right side up flower. That's what we agreed to because nobody's saying like girl. All right, Gathil. 40A is yours. What's the one thing I told you have to know about secant? 1 over cosine. So I'm going to start off by writing 1 over cosine theta equals what? Now what?
Do you multiply by cosine?
Multiply both sides by cosine theta. Which you're allowed to do. And I get 1 equals 1 times cosine theta. It's just cosine theta, is it not?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Where does cosine theta give me 1?
Theta equals 0 plus 2 pi n. Where n equals -1, 0, 1.
You volunteered illegally for this one. You knew how to do it. That's how you do it.
Like,
What's step one? I got secant theta equals undefined.
it would just be cosine of theta equals.
How do I write undefined?
I don't know.
I think you do. We made you write undefined countless times, starting probably for you in 3rd grade, but for normal people about 8th grade. When do you have something that's undefined?
Isn't just a lot, or like, I don't know.
Ooh. Anybody have a hint for her? Yes, ma'am.
Is it when it's divided by 0?
When it's divided by 0, correct? So 1 over 0 is undefined, agreed?
Yeah.
So what must cosine theta be equal to?
One.
What?
Wait, when I don't know, I'm confused.
You are way overthinking this. Just look at this pretty picture for a second. If they're equal,
Oh, it's 0.
thank you.
Okay.
Right? Property of equality. I mean, you could cross multiply and do things, but yeah. Okay, where's cosine theta equal to 0?
1.
What?
Wait, never mind. 1 second. Yeah, 1.
No, you're thinking backwards. What's the angle when cosine gives you 0?
0?
Here's my cosine curve, correct?
Yeah.
All right, this is 2 pi, that's pi, that's 0, right? Where does the curve give me 0?
At 0, right?
Not 0, it's 0. It's 0, sorry, 0, it's 1.
So it'd be at pi, or at pi over 2.
That's correct, okay? And then next one would be?
3 pi over 2.
So here we go. Where theta is equal to?
Pi over 2.
Plus, I want to repeats.
2 pi.
Ah. If this is pi, isn't this pi also?
Yeah.
So it's every pi. Right, it's going to be 0 again at pi.
Plus 3 pi?
You said the next one was 3 pi over 2.
Yeah.
So from pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2, how many pi's is going to go up?
2.
No.
1 plus.
2 pi's over 2, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it'd just be pi. And where n is equal to?
-1, 0, 1.
You type me the dot, dot, dot before it. Dot, 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 -1, 0, 1, 2, dot, dot, dot. I know nobody ever says dot, dot, dot. Just make sure you write them down. Yes?
If you were to write 1/2 pi instead of pi over 2, that's wrong.
Totally okay. It's just never done, but you can do it. And it's actually the official way you're supposed to write it. But nobody does. So you're going to see it when it comes at you. It's always going to be written as pi over 2. All right, I'm at 14 minutes. Have to stop the